Hey friends, thank you for watching yesterday's video. I really do appreciate the love and support that you have shown. In today's video, I'm going to talk to you a little bit more in depth about why I chose Pepperjack to be the herd replacement for Cinnamon Goat and why I wanted a polled goat. Well, you know how to make her dance, don't you?
Yeah. I'm trying this goat.
I think you're the only person on YouTube that milks a goat backwards. Everybody goes from the front side.
Well, I'm in the back, you're on the side, so.
Am I in your way?
No, I'm good.
Okay.
As long as she doesn't use the bathroom, I'm good.
Wouldn't it be awful if she peed in that pot right now?
Yeah, that would be funny.
Bless it. Parsley, settle down. I bought new collars for all the goats, and Daniela's trying to put the collar on Ginger Louise, the poor goat. That's all we got. Put it on her just like it is. Well, it's on her. And now she's afraid to move.
She's peeing. That's what she's
Oh. I think it's beautiful on her.
That's the one Catherine wanted.
That's the one Catherine wanted for her. Which means Pepperjack gets the pink one. How ridiculous. Catherine is busy putting in a mineral feeder container for Parsley and Ginger. That's way too big for him.
Don't count. There's still walk. We'll give him some pool room.
I'm not sure you're going to be able to get that through that little hole that you punched.
Hey.
She punched a hole with a nail, but I don't think it's going to go through.
If he had a head to the milking stand, it would be so much easier.
Is that what you're going to do? Uh-oh, poor goat. He and JoJo have been wrestling, fighting, butting heads in the mud, just sparring, not really fighting. And Catherine, why did you pick out the pink collar for him?
It's hilarious and I like it.
Because it's hilarious? You did it as a joke?
Yeah.
I bought a purple collar and a pink collar for the two does, and I bought a blue collar for him.
He's not getting my favorite color now.
Well, she put the blue collar on Ginger, or Daniela did actually.
No. So I have to get no. So Dad, you just keep talking about them.
Well, you may think it's kind of silly to have a boy goat up on a milking stand, but I think it's important to get them trained as young kids to be still and be calm in a milking stanchion. Even though it's a buck and you're never going to milk him, this is good for medicating and deworming and hoof trims and copper boluses. And so we get him up here and put him in the head stanchion at least once a week just to get him used to everything. Now, like I said, he needs a bath. He's dirty right now. And goats are usually really clean animals. But like I said, it's April. You know, it's been raining. April showers bring May flowers sort of thing. But he and JoJo have been in the mud. They're pretending to be little pigs. Captain Baby, I think we're probably going to have to melt a hole in this collar. She has put a nail through it to try to make it work for him. Now I can't get the nail out.
I can get it in, but he can't get it out.
Well, you're using a hammer to put it in, and I'm having to pull it out with my fingers.
I put it in with my hands. My bare hands.
Yeah, you have bare hands, don't you?
And to come too. Everyone, really quick, write in the comments if you think that this will work or not.
Yeah, I don't think it's going to work.
I think it will.
I had no confidence in it. Oh, struggling so hard. Oh, push it, just to prove Daddy wrong.
Everyone, you always know that I have to always prove my dad wrong.
She's mean, just like her
I have
mama.
to get on
So why is it important for a goat to have a collar?
so that you can move them around, like if you're changing spots, if you are getting a new house, if you're selling a goat,
To give you something to grab hold of?
so you don't have to grab their ears.
Well, you don't grab their ears. Why don't you grab their horns?
Well, you guys are having horns.
He doesn't have any horns.
I feel like this is not right.
We better melt a hole in that.
No, I have to prove you wrong.
Alright, she's still trying.
Yeah, I did it!
Did it go through?
Yeah!
Finally?
Look, I proved you wrong!
Okay.
And probably hundreds of viewers.
Fix the buckle. Hundreds of viewers. Oh, that's so sweet of you to think that I have hundreds of viewers.
Thousands of viewers.
Maybe dozens. Okay.
Hey, he's good.
Alright, he's good now. So if you watched yesterday's video, you know that this goat was pretty much an answer to prayer, and I did pay for him. I bought him outright. I paid cash in hand for him. I didn't pay $1,000 for him, but it was well worth every penny of what I paid. Now he's dirty back there. That's not diarrhea or anything. It's just mud. He laid down in the mud. Like I said, JoJo pushed him down. He's pretty big already. He was born the last week of December, just a couple days after Christmas. So he's a couple months old already. He's as tall as JoJo, but JoJo is bigger around. He was pretty much weaned when we got him. We got him when he was about 6 weeks old. He was already nibbling on dry food at the time. We've had him for a while, but we did bottle feed him. He stayed in the house for a while, in our bathroom and laundry room. And then when the weather started warming up, we put him in a big dog crate in the goat barn, the old goat barn where they used to be. We're now in the new goat barn, and he's living with JoJo full time now. But he is a good goat, and like I said, his name is Pepperjack, and he's unrelated to our other goats. He's being antsy because that chain is tickling his ears. He's unrelated to our other goats. He is purebred registered Nubian buck. I met his parents. His dam, his mother, was a big, beautiful goat, and his sire, the Billy. Well, you know what? I didn't meet the Billy goat, the buck, his dad. I've seen pictures though, and just as beautiful as can be. I love that he's tricolor. He has the cocoa brown and the black and the white. And the reason that's important to me is because, well, I like pretty things to look at. That's why I have my beautiful wife and my beautiful daughter, of course. But I like things that are fancy to look at. And so do other people. And so this is going to mean that the babies from him, if they are flashy like this, they're going to be easier for us to sell and find homes for. And one of the most important things that I was looking for in a buck was the fact that he is polled, P-O-L-L-E-D. And that means that he naturally does not have horns. And so that was very, very, very important to me because he will pass that on to his offspring, to his children. I don't want goats with horns here on my farm because it's dangerous to the children, and also it's dangerous to the goats themselves. They get those horns caught in fences and they have the potential to injure themselves in fights. Now you can disbud a goat kid, which simply means that you take a hot iron, not a clothes iron, but something made for the purpose, and you cauterize the horn bud as babies, and the horns will never grow. And that's true with doe goats. You know, Parsley has been disbudded by Rose and Ryan at Wholesome Roots. Rosalina was disbudded by Jack Gary at the Gary Farm in Georgia when we got her. Cinnamon Goat was disbudded by Rose and Ryan, but he grew skurs, which are remnants of horns, and Jojo was disbudded, and he has skurs. And that's just not something that I want to deal with. And so the polled gene is a codominant trait. And that means that half of all of his babies will be polled, meaning that half of his babies will not have horns and will not need to be disbudded. And so it's a time saver for me, it's a stress saver for me, it's a stress saver for the goats. It's cheaper, easier, quicker because I don't have to worry with that. And all in all, it's just going to be better for us and for the future of our goat herd. Can you see the spurs on Jojo's head? We're going to have to take him to a vet and have those cut off. The one on his right side, your left, is actually growing down, curled back under. And so that's something that we won't have to worry about with this guy. But Jojo is a cutie. And this guy, Pepperjack, ew, I'm dirty. Pepperjack just begs for attention. Typical bottle baby. He's a good guy. She's ended up with alfalfa hay all over her back. She's a pretty one. So a wild goat is called an ibex, and they're found around the Mediterranean regions and the Middle East, and they have great big giant horns. It's just the rams, the bucks rather, not rams. Rams are sheep, bucks are goats. The bucks have just enormous horns, and through the ages, through the process of domestication, the horns have gotten smaller on the goats that we have now. And in some cases, the horns don't even exist at all. So naturally, goats have horns. As babies, you can have the baby goat disbudded, which basically just means cauterizing the little horn bud as it emerges through the skin when they're just several weeks old. Alternatively, you can breed a goat that is polled, and that just means they naturally do not have horns. And again, that is a codominant trait, and it will pass on through the chromosomes, through the genetic code, to the offspring. And so, to me, it's a no-brainer to try to have polled goats because I don't want horns. There have been some thoughts and some people online who are very vocal that say that polled goats have other issues, reproductive issues, basically, and that if you have a goat that has 2 genes for being polled, that the babies will have lots of issues. I think that's just all anecdotal. I can't find any real evidence to suggest that. I've talked to several people who have polled goats, and they don't have any issues whatsoever. Lots of Nubian goats are polled. There are lots of Nigerian dwarfs that are polled. And so it's important to me that from now on that I try to keep the polled gene in my goat herd. And that just means that half of the babies are going to be naturally polled without horns and will not need to be disbudded. And it's just going to make life so much easier.